Hi, Special K.
Hey,
How are you?
I am good. How are you?
Good. It's great to do this video with you.
Yeah,
I know you're in the tropics because I see your shirt moving in the fan there to
I like to
stay
have the
cool.
fan going.
Yeah,
Yeah,
to stay cool. It's starting to get cooler here during the day in Texas,
that's
so
wonderful.
it's fall. Yeah, we have more typical four seasons here in Texas, but
That
um,
is wonderful.
well, it's wonderful to be doing this video with you today. We're going to talk a little bit about sailing. So begin.
Yeah, so let's talk about this. So we want to bring all the really helpful life advice and strategies to people that we can. So here's another video, doing that in that same effort. And the concept is this is a common saying, different people have said it, although you might not have heard it. Um, So the concept is you can't control the wind, but you can adjust your sails.
Ah,
And so, yeah, so what this means is things happen in life that are out of our control.
mm,
However, you can always choose how you adapt to that, how you respond to that, how you change your mindset to that, how you pivot your strategy to that, to adjust your sails so that you still head towards the destination dream life that you want to build.
mm,
And that's what we're all about here at A Life Design, helping people design better lives and become better people and learn and grow in a fun environment and with a fun community that supports them. So that's the basic idea. And there's many different examples of it. Like, for example, you can't determine your childhood.
mm,
You can't determine the cards you were dealt on that, but you can play the hand better. You can change the way you play the hand.
mhm, mhm,
You can say, okay, I grew up in the ghetto, but I can still find a way to make more money. I can still find a way to take on a more positive attitude, more
mhm,
positive mindset.
mhm,
I can still choose to surround myself with better people
mhm,
who
mhm,
support me growing in life instead of support me staying
mhm,
stuck.
mhm,
I can take care of my body, eat better,
mhm.
exercise more to feel healthier, to feel better. I can still take charge and design my life. That's basically the main concept behind this. So did you want to jump in or do you want me to
Yeah,
keep
I was
going?
just going to say what brought that to mind was Michaela Peterson, um,
Mm,
Jordan Peterson's daughter. Yeah,
yes.
she was diagnosed as a child with the worst case of pediatric arthritis they'd ever seen. There
Right.
were times she was hospitaled for months at a time. All the
Yeah.
joints didn't work. All the doctors, different parts of Canada, nobody could do anything.
Hmm.
And as she got older, she decided she would try every diet known to man
Hmm.
because she'd already tried all the drugs, right? And nobody had a good prognosis for her. They were basically, you're never going to see 30, you know what I mean? And she was in pain all the time. So pain management was one of her daily activities. And so she stumbled across the, extreme carnivore diet of only eating beef. And some people were doing it to kind of detox, maybe from chemotherapy or other
Hmm.
drug therapies to kind of rinse
Hmm.
things out of your system. And she was suddenly pain free. And so she said, I'm not even
So,
going to make excuses about why this diet works or what the science is.
mhm.
I feel great for the first time in my life. It's beef all the 24/7 for me. And
Yep.
I'm not going to, I mean, complain about me if you want. This works. So she
So,
tried things and adjusted her sales and has had a
yes,
child and gotten married. Her life is working.
that's a perfect example. And speaking of health stuff and diet, don't let anyone tell you you got to be vegan or carnivore,
Right, right.
or standard American diet. Find the diet that works best for you. Don't
Yes.
let other people tell you how to think, tell you how to behave. Adjust your sails,
Hmm.
adjust the rudder of your ship in the way that works best for you to
Yes.
take you where you need to go in your life. And I I care about animals. We should all care about animals, but
Hmm.
ultimately it's a health issue. No one deserves to go through life feeling horrible.
Right.
Whatever diet works best for you, do that.
Yes.
Whether it's carnivore, vegan, keto, standard American diet, whatever you're doing,
Hmm.
you have the right to be healthy and feel good and design your life. So go with what works.
Yeah,
If
and
vegan works for you, great. But if
right.
carnivore works for you, great. So,
To take the responsibility personally and then to do that exploration for what feels right in your body.
mhm,
And you don't know if you're healing something you're not that's undiagnosed like candida, or if you're healing from an autoimmune and you've been told, look, you're just going to swallow these drugs for the rest of your life. That might be true, or it might be true that you can change your diet and dial, step down on those drugs or potentially stop taking them, with medical considerations and so on. But we're learning so much about, you mentioned before our call about the biome,
mhm.
everyone's chemical composition, their DNA,
Microbiome. Yeah.
microbiome, it's different. And
Yep.
so you really do have to adjust your own cells for your own body and find out what makes you feel better when you wake up, what makes you feel tired after you eat it, what gives you a headache. And then not listen to
Absolutely.
people say, oh, you're a wimp because you gave up Cool Ranch Doritos. Well, if they give you a headache or they make your joints swell, stop eating
Mhm.
it. I mean, it's just not right for you. Not wrong in general, just not right for you.
So, exactly. So be adaptable, be ready to pivot, be ready to adjust.
Mhm.
Don't be stuck in the past. There's a famous quote, I think it's a William Faulkner quote or something. And he said, the past isn't even past in some cases. So, for example, if you're ruminating on the past, ruminating on your trauma, and you're stuck there, then your past isn't even past
You're still
because you
living it.
keep you keep bringing it into your present.
Mhm.
But you gotta realize it's you doing that.
Yes.
You're thinking about it in the present.
Mhm.
You don't have to do that. You're thinking about it in the present, ruminating on it. Be adaptable. Be ready to give up thinking about that trauma.
Mhm. Mhm.
Be ready to embark on new adventures and focus on them and move past it.
Mhm.
Be ready to adapt, to
Mhm.
adjust your sales,
Mhm.
whatever happens. And it's the same thing with the future. People worry about the future, but if you're always doing that,
Mhm.
then your future isn't even your future. It's your present. You're trying to make it your present. Well, what about your present being your present?
Right.
Like, you got to enjoy your moments and live your life and make changes if you need to make them to put your future on a better track.
Mhm.
But don't worry about it all the time. Like, be adaptable, be ready to pivot. We can always improve, we can always learn. So
Mhm.
we always need to be ready to be adaptable and
Mhm.
pivot as we need to.
Yeah, that power is so important. The ability to say, well, things have changed, and now what do I
Yeah.
do? And that
Yeah.
change could be up to you, or it could have just happened around you. It could be the economy. It could
Mhm.
be a business environment.
Mhm.
It could be your relationship. The other person wants out. Okay. But change happens. And then how we respond to that change with some pivoting, some flexibility, some adaptability. In coaching, we tell people to where they start is where they are with what they have. That's
Mhm.
where everybody starts. Take an inventory of what you have, understand the landscape of where you are. And now that we know where you are and what you have, we can figure out what it's going to take to get you to where you want to go. So map out now where you are with what you have, and then
Yes.
navigate
Mhm.
how to go where you want to go. Go ahead.
Absolutely. And so, for example, like relationships, like someone can wake up one day and just decide they don't want to be with you anymore. There's stories of people who have been in a relationship with someone for a year or two and then they just get ghosted.
Mhm.
And this was a 2-year relationship. There's not even a
Mhm.
bye, there's not even a breakup conversation. Like, and so the other person's in there, what happened? Like, what is this? Like,
Mhm.
there's no communication. So
Mhm.
that happens to people today. So if that happens to you, I know it's hard, but in the moment, when you can, ask yourself, how can I turn this into a positive?
Mhm.
And turn it into a positive in as many different dimensions as you can. So, for
Yes.
example, mentally, how can I turn this into a positive? In other words, how do I use this experience to think better about future relationships? That's
Mhm.
mentally. How do I turn it into a positive? How do I use this to develop better strategies for
Mhm.
how I date in the
Mhm.
future?
Mhm.
That's mentally turning into positive, emotionally turning into positive. How do I use this to emotionally become more mature?
Mhm.
And I use this as an opportunity to learn how to work through my emotions quicker than I ever have before,
Mhm,
to become more emotionally resilient than I've ever been before.
mhm,
Now, if you choose to do that, if you choose to be adaptable, if you choose to adjust the sails,
mhm,
you will come out much more emotionally strong
mhm.
than you were before.
Visit us at
Mhm.
ALifeDesigned.org, 30 days free membership to try out the videos in our library and
Absolutely.
upcoming speed coaching. So we'll put
Yes.
that in the description, and we look forward to
Good.
seeing you there. Until the next one.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks.